If you're serious about tracking fat loss, you should absolutely be weighing yourself every single day. Now, a lot of people are scared of the scale. It holds a pretty strong emotional tie to how they feel, how they view themselves, and even some people think that weighing yourself daily can be a little too rigid, a little obsessive. In this video, I'm going to take you through why weighing yourself every single day is actually the key to making better and faster progress. Now, number one, it gives us an average, meaning that if you go to check in with your coach or you go to take pictures for yourself, if you're self-coached, and you track your scale weight that morning, maybe once or twice throughout the week, whenever you felt really good, we aren't getting the full picture. Whereas if you take your scale weight every single day, we have 7 data points that give us a much better idea of how your week actually went. I used to only weigh myself whenever I felt small, whenever I felt light, and I liked how I looked in the mirror. Only using the lows is a really quick way to distort what's actually happening throughout the week. And it also sets you up to get pretty upset if you are scale weight driven and you run into a day where even though you feel lean, you're actually heavier. By collecting data over the course of 7 days, as opposed to the days that you just feel your best, you're rooting your decision making for the week in accuracy, not just what is favorable for you that day. Number 2, it gives us a range. It helps you familiarize yourself with what degree of fluctuation you're going to expect to see between your high weight and your low weight. I can tell you, I don't have a single client who doesn't have a gap between their range, their high and low, of 2 pounds or more, myself included. Some weeks, my range is upwards of 3 pounds. Having a range, it gives you context of what's normal and what's atypical. Number 3, it sets realistic expectations. When you see that scale weight consistently moves up after you train your lower body, or after you have your untracked meal, or after you increase your carbs, it builds these patterns and really the recognition that these fluctuations are caused by something. And even though the weight might be higher, and if your goal is to lose weight, we don't have to react to these daily fluctuations. And especially for those who are scale weight sensitive, it mitigates or at least reduces that initial paralysis that you're going to have whenever you see that your weight is up 1 or 2 pounds after you were 100% on track with the diet. Number 4, it helps us understand these fluctuations. And particularly for the individual who is getting ready for a show, they have a specific day that they need to be their sharpest, and they would prefer not to be weighing in higher that day or looking a little softer. It gives them more agency in understanding what variables are going to shift scale weight. And from there, you can kind of decide, is that something you want, or is that something you need to avoid come your show or come set event? Number 5, it purifies decision making. Now, this is especially helpful for someone who's on a strict deadline or who isn't sure if they're actually losing fat fast enough. In this instance, more data can lead to better decisions. And this is even more important if intrinsically you're feeling like you're not losing. I can't tell you how many times I've had clients come to me and they're so upset, they're distraught because they feel like their week sucked, they feel like they didn't make any progress, yet we look at their weekly data, we look at their average, we look at their high and low, and compared to the previous week, they are down 0.7, 1 pound, 1.2 pounds, which confirms objectively they were in a caloric deficit that week. Especially when it comes to fat loss, we can't always trust how we feel. There are going to be hormones that play a pretty significant role in how we view our body, how our body feels, and in turn, whether or not we see that progress is actually occurring. This is where I think it's so important to root your decision making in objective data. Daily tracking gives you that average, and in turn, this helps you make better adjustments, more accurate adjustments based on facts, not just feelings. And number 6, it teaches you that fat loss is not linear. Even for those who are ultra precise and have a high degree of food reporting, we have to remember that these fluctuations are normal, they're expected, and they're not something that we should try to fight or necessarily need to react to. For a lot of clients that come to me, especially those who are sensitive to scale weight fluctuations, this normalizes those shifts and also teaches them that even if you have a high weigh-in, you can still be technically moving forward and moving in the right direction at the appropriate rate. Seeing these ups and downs and seeing how as quickly as they come on, they also come off. You do this day in, day out, You're going to learn to trust the process. You're going to increase how much you believe in yourself, and you're going to stop these stupid road bumps from derailing your entire day or even your week. If you want to take the emotional volatility out of fat loss and thereby assessing your progress, start tracking your weight every day. And don't stop there. Look at the average, look at the range, look at the things day to day that are impacting and simply causing these transient changes. Not only is this going to give you more power, more self-belief, but it's going to hopefully put you in the driver's seat in understanding what you need to do in terms of creating the deficit that reflects the rate of loss that you want to see each and every week. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.